push play. All right, hi everybody, it's Miss Sinclair and all your friends from school. Tuesday, March 16th. Hello. Lesson 19, substituting to evaluate, add, and subtract expressions. So let me show you what that means. You're going to need your highlighters today for sure, because we're going to be reading stories and trying to pick out important information. So get yourself ready. There's my first email. There's no video today. Okay, you ready? Here we go. My older sister is exactly 2 years older than I am. Okay, so this is Felicity. You ready? Here's Felicity. And here's her big sister. What's her name? Okay. Okay. Sharing a birthday is both fun and annoying. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Every year on our birthday, we have a party, which is fun, but she always brags that she's 2 years older than I am, which is annoying. Shown below is a table of her ages starting when I was born. Finished? Excellent. Grab your lesson 19. We just started. So when Felicity was born, she was 0 years old. Her sister was 2. When Felicity turned 1, her sister was 3. When Felicity turned 2, her sister was 4. Can you find a pattern in the table? Olivia? Okay. So when we read across the row, whatever Felicity's age is, we're going to go +2 to get her sister's age, right? And that's true. Let's check and see if that's true on every single row across. So put all those in. 0 + 2, 1 + 2, 2 + 2. That looks right, doesn't it? So we just talked about the pattern. It's going to be Felicity +2 equals her big sister. What about the day Felicity turned 8? Her big sister would be 8 + 2, right? 10. What about the day Felicity turned 16? Her big sister is 18. Here's an interesting question at the bottom. I want you to highlight this question because this is an important part of what we're talking about. In order to answer that question, did I have to extend the table all the way down until I hit 16 on this side in order to find that answer? No, I did not, because we found a pattern that we can use instead. So what if Felicity lives to the ripe old age of 99? I don't want to make 99 column. I don't want to make 99 rows if all I have to do is take 99 and add 2, right? Okay, so that's as simple as that. All right, if you don't know how old Felicity is, we're going to put an F there for Felicity, because I know when Felicity was 0, her sister was 2. When she was 1, her sister was 3. But if I don't know her age, any age, no matter what age it is, what do I do with that variable to find this number? Liam? Lene? So I'm going to put F +2. So how old Felicity is, if I add 2, that's how old her sister is. Does that make sense? So we already took care of this and this. What if I didn't know how old my sister, the big sister was? So we put big sister here. How old was Felicity when her sister was 6? Here's 6. How old was Felicity? 4. When her big sister was 15, Felicity would have been 13. What if we don't know how old her big sister is? How did I get that number using a variable? Lene? BS minus 2. However old my big sister is, if I take away 2, that's how old Felicity is. We already did that, and that, and that, and that. All right. Now we're going to make it one twinge more complicated. That was a pretty simple way to start, right? Plus 2 minus 2. Okay. Check this one out. Noah and Carter are collecting box tops for their school. So we're talking about collecting box tops. You don't have to highlight the whole sentence, just the parts that are important. They each bring in one box top per day. So they both do this, one box top per day, starting on the first day of school. So every day of school, we're going to add plus 1. However, and here's the trick, Carter had a head start because his aunt sent him 15 box tops before school started. So let's look at Carter. His aunt sent him 15, plus he brought 1 on the first day of school. So does 16 make sense? Okay, then Noah's grandma saved 10 box tops, and then he bring 1 on the first day of school. So grandma had 10, he brought 1 more, so he's got 11. Do those numbers make sense? Okay, each day they're going to bring 1 more box top. Can you go ahead and fill out the next 2 columns? Then check and see if I don't, make sure I'm not making mistakes. We need to put the lights down a little bit more. Can you guys see that okay? So, can you take care of that? There we go. Okay, if we let D be the number of days, so instead of 5, I'm going to write a D, because we don't know how many days it is. Now I'm looking for a pattern. So let's look at Noah first. Okay, here's Noah on this side. Can you find a pattern between these 2 numbers? Watch what I'm doing. Liam, do you have a question? I don't want you to answer yet because I'm not done. Let me give everybody a second. On day 1, he had 11. On day 2, 12. On day 3, 13. On day 4, 14. How do you figure out this number? Liam, go ahead. Huh? Right. But that doesn't say 6 or 7 or 8. It could be 75. So look at the connection between these numbers. What's happening with these numbers? Brock.
They're just adding a 1 to them.
Not a 1, because it's in the tens place. So what are they really adding? Lene? But if I'm looking at the pattern that goes across, to go from here to here, what's the pattern? Olivia? Plus how many?
5.
1 plus 5 is not 11. 1 plus what? 10. So let's check and see if that's true. Ready? 1 plus 10 is 11. 2 plus 10 is 12. 3 plus 10 is 13. Is that right? So these are all plus 10s. So it would be D plus 10. Because remember, he started off, he had 10 before school started. So there's his plus 10 right there. He brings 1 card every day, plus he had 10 to start with. So now let's look at Carter's. So on day 1, Carter's at 16. On day 2, 17. How do I go from 2 to 17? 3 to 18. Brock?
You add
What did he start with that he had?
started with
His auntie saved him for
started
him.
with 15.
He did, so we're going to go plus 15. Let's see if that works. 1 plus 15 is here. 2 plus 15 is here. So this would be D plus 15. That makes sense? What about on day 10? What would Noah have? So here's Noah's equation. Whatever day it is plus 10. So what if he's on day 10? What happens? What if he's on day 10? Yep. It would be 10 plus 10. He would have 20. Felicity, you writing this down? What about Carter? What's his equation? His equation is D plus 15. How many will he have on day 10? Aiden.
10 plus 15 is 25.
Exactly right. Making some kind of sense? This is the last page, and then we're at the problem set. We're not going to finish this whole thing today, so don't worry about that. But we are going to do this page. Okay, now, each week, the primary school recycles 200 pounds of paper. Oh, each week. So highlight the important information. Each week, 200 pounds of paper at the primary. At the intermediate, they recycle the same amount, which is how much? 200 pounds each week. They recycle the same, but they had another 300 pounds left over from summer school, so they got a head start. So this is week 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, if the primary school does 200 pounds in 1 week, I'm going to put a 200 here. The next week, they're going to add how many more? Camden? Another 200, right? And another 200. Finish the table. Blake, you writing this down? So 200 a week for 5 weeks. Now, the intermediate school was different because they had just had summer school and they had 300 pounds of paper left over. So on their very first week, they recycled that 200 plus the summer school paper. So what is the number here going to be? 200 plus the summer school paper, Alexis? So they start at 500 the first week, and every week they add how many more pounds of paper?
200.
Another 200 every week. So finish the table. And here's the question. If this trend continues, so if they do the same thing every week, how much will each building have on week 10? So if it's week 10, week 1 is 200. What's the pattern? Week 2 is 400, 600. How do I get from there to there? I got to multiply by what?
You have to multiply by 2.
2 times 200, right? 3 times 200, 4 times 200. What's 10 times 200? Well, those are fun to multiply when you have all the zeros at the back, because you're going to go 1 times 2, and then you're going to add how many zeros? 3. So the primary school is going to have 2,000 pounds of paper. The intermediate school is also going to have 10 weeks times 200, because every single week they also do 200 pounds, but they had an advantage because why? They had that 300 to start with, so we have to add 300 more. So not only will they have this 2,000, but they'll also have the 300 that they got from summer school. So they end up with 2,300 pounds. All right, and we're going to do one more of these today. Shelly and Kristen share a birthday, but Shelly is 5 years older. So we're going to start by putting the names in here because they're not even in here yet. So it's Shelly and Kristen. And who's older? Shelly's older. So Kristen's the baby, right? So when Kristen was 0, when she was born, Shelly was how old? Okay. And Kristen turned 1, Shelly turned. Okay, you know what to do. So let's look at the pattern. From Kristen to Shelly, if I move this way, I have to add 5, right? 1 plus 5, 2 plus 5, 3 plus 5. What if Kristen is 16 years old? What if this is a 16? How old would her sister be? Liam? Yep. What if we don't know Kristen's age? What if we just use a variable? What if we say K? How do I go from here to here? How did I solve that? From Kristen to Shelly, what'd I do? Add 5. So Kristen's age plus 5. What if Shelly is S years old? We don't know how old she is. If I know her this, how do I go from here to there? Subtract 5, so S minus 5. That makes sense? All right, so here's the plan for today. We don't have time to finish this. I do want you to work on this problem set, only questions 1 and 2. I'm going to give you a start off on both of them, and then I'm going to have you finish this today, and then save this packet. We'll finish it tomorrow. Sue Ellen and Tara are in 6th grade. Here's 6th grade. They both take dance lessons at Twinkle Toes Dance Studio. This is Sue Ellen's first year. Sue Ellen's first year in dance, and Tara's 5th year in dance. Do you have a question?
Do we have to do like the
Questions?
problems?
Yes. Yes, yes. So that'll get you started on this one. Let's take a look down here. Dayjoy and Damien collect fossils. Now they don't even have names on this yet. So we're going to start this one out by putting names in. And it says, before they went on a fossil hunting trip, Dayjoy had 25 fossils and Damien had 16 fossils. So before they even started hunting fossils, they already both had some. So on day 0, before they went hunting more fossils, Dayjoy had 25 and Damien had 16. And then they go on a trip. I can't answer you right now. They went on a 10-day fossil hunting trip. So here are the days of the trip. And then it says every single day on the trip, they each collected 2 new fossils. That should get you started on both of those. So what I want you to do is finish 1 and 2, answering the questions here and here. And then put this in your backpack. We're going to come back and finish the problem set tomorrow. All right?